This is the program we just finished, and notice this, we assigned the value. Now I'm going to close that one, and I'm going to start a new one. I'm going to call this program, I don't know, I don't have any name in mind, so I'll call this example public static, and that's my file. So for this one, we're going to use scanner to load the array. After we load the array, maybe we'll have the program print the array. We're not really doing anything fancy in it. So here we go. Import java.util.scanner. And if we're going to use the scanner, you need to come back here and say scanner and give it like a name. Scanner dot scanner, not dot. Input, whatever name you want to use, equals new scanner system.in. Now, just one thing to mention, sometimes you see people write more here before this. It really doesn't matter, but you can see right Java. That's the first thing I do before the scanner. .util.scanner. So if you don't put it there, I can take it out of this here, just to give you a heads up, and you can write all of that, cut it, java.util.scanner. And this one doesn't, this program I'm using doesn't like it, so we'll put it back there. We'll leave it there. Import java.util. And sometimes I'm lazy. I don't want to write scanner there. I put asterisks. And what asterisk does is include all of these, the one you saw on that list, if you need them or not. So somewhere there is a scanner, but you can include all of these if you put asterisks there. But I'll leave it. Every once in a while you see me type that. So the program I'm using does not like this line here. Try yours and see if yours is okay with it. Java.util.scanner. Oh, I wrote scanner twice. That's why. And what about if I take this one out? Yep. Scanner. Java.util.scanner. Input equals new scanner. Yeah, it still doesn't like it. So notice it's giving me an error there on this one. They want to include the import with this one. Yep. Again, I've done it multiple times without the import. Depends which program you're using. So if you're using this, then you're fine. And if you're using this, then why even write this? So I can take it out, but I'll leave it for now, just to show you can do that. You already told them you're going to be using the Java util scanner right there. But I'll leave it. Now let me define my array, int, two-dimensional array. Let's give it a name. We'll call it table, and equals new int, and I can specify the size of it. Let's say I want to have 8 rows and I want it to have 5 columns. I want 8 rows and 5 columns. By the way, every row does not have to have the same number of columns. You can do that. Notice I can do this, int, just I have a 2D array equals, and I can do this. 1, 2 on the first row, comma, second row, a 3, 4, 5, 6, comma, and the last row is 4, 7, 9. And that's known as a ragged array. So you can have different values. I forgot to give the array a name here. So again, we call that ragged array. And notice in the first row you only have 2 elements. In the second one you have 4. In the last one you have 3 columns. So you can do that. The problem is if you want to set up a double loop to read them, then we got a problem, because these numbers changes all the time. So just to give you a heads up, they don't have to be the same. I'm going to take it out. I don't need it here. It's just something, sometimes people question that. They go, can you use different value? The answer is yes. So now let's assign values to the array. So in this section, we are going to initialize missing an I. Initialize, I hate typing, the array, which means I'm going to have the user enter values into the array. So it's not assigned in advance. So we know input is my scanner, so I can use that input to read the value. Notice I use input here as my scanner. So let's go there, initialize that. Let me set up a loop here. So now we're going to begin system or syso print line. Here we go. Enter. I want to write the word enter, capital E. Enter space plus. I want you to write matrix. Oh, I call it table, not matrix here. Table. Sometimes I use a lot of table.length. Plus space rows and space, yep, I have that, plus, you'll see what I'm thinking about here, table zero dot length columns here. Plus, double quotation, columns. Let's see what I'm trying to do here. I want you to see what I'm working on. I wanted the machine to say enter 3 rows and 4 columns, or enter 8 rows in this case and 5 columns. Notice enter 8 rows and 5 columns. That's what the flag is going to show up on the screen for them. I asked them to write the word enter with a space. The length will tell me how many rows into the 2D array, which is 3 rows. I mean 8 rows. I keep saying 3, that's the previous one. And the word rows, then and, then a space. Then it says how many columns in the first one. The first one has how many columns? Well, everyone has 5 columns here. 5 here columns. So once you see that, you expect to start entering values. So how we're going to enter the values, we're going to use a double loop. Let me close this one so you get to see it. Let's do my double loop here. For parentheses, int, row, makes it easy, equals 0. All the way to row is less than, I use table, yeah, table dot length and every time you go through the row, I want you to increment that. Curly bracket to begin that, curly bracket to close it. And when you enter it, do another for statement, int, and this will be the column. We'll have an extra M here, it looks like. I just didn't see it. For columns equals to 0. Column is less than table row 0 dot length, how many elements in that row there, and column plus plus. Oh, not P. They're next to each other. Curly bracket to begin this, curly bracket to close it. And what do you want to do? You want to read the value and put it directly into table, row, and column. And that's going to equal from the input, because I'm using the input scanner here, dot next int, get a number, integer value. So that should, I gotta, the problem with this, I gotta type in how many. I gotta type in 8 times 5, which is 40 numbers. So let's change the size here. That's too much. 4 by 3. 4 times 3 is 12 numbers. The only problem with this, you'll see quickly when I run it, is I don't know what I'm putting there. It says enter, oh, I did 4 by 2, I guess that's 8 numbers. That's good, even better. So I had the first number, 15. Second number. So notice it doesn't really tell me anything. I wish it tells me which location, because I might forget. If my phone rings now and I gotta leave and come back, I have no idea where I am right now. Am I going up and down or left and right? So what I should do here, maybe have it do this, sys-o, so I'll be exactly specific. So instead of right line, we'll call it print, enter the value in row. You want to label the row as row 0, row 1, row 2. So if you want to do row 0, then you go plus row plus space and maybe like this, column plus column and plus, I meant to put this one here, n space, and row 3, column 4, you know. So let's see what that looks like, if that's a little bit better there. So it says, okay, enter the value in row 0, column 0, 15. Row 0, column 1, 4. Then it should go to the next line. Row 1, column 0, 3, 7. Row 2, column 0, 8, 9, 12, 6. And now it's done. That's how you initialize them. Or if you're just having fun with them, so this is the end to initialize them right there. That'll assign any values you want to. If you just want to put numbers in them, here we go. Like for example, initialize the array with random values. You can initialize with random values. If you just want to do just like a quick pick some numbers there, repeat all of this. And paste it here. Instead of enter a value there, we don't have to enter a value there. I don't have to know which value. And it's not going to read it from the keyboard. I'm going to use an integer value, so it's int. I got to tell them it's an integer value. I'm going to use the random function. And the random function is what? Anyone recalls what that function is? Math dot random times, maybe I want a random value between 0 and 100. And so whatever numbers I put up there, it doesn't really matter because now I'm going to randomize it. So it's another way to initialize a 2D array, especially if you don't care about the numbers. But if you're entering information about a customer, then you want to enter them. You don't want the machine to randomly select them. Try and just give you ideas how you can initialize. So that's the other one. Let's say you want to print the values. So in this case, actually, I'm going to put in numbers in it first, which is a waste of time. Then the computer is going to come in, pick some numbers between 0 and 100 and put them in. Now let's print these numbers. Let's see what they look like. So this section, display the numbers. Display the random numbers. Not the numbers I put in there, but the random numbers. Again, it's a double loop. So copy all of this. Command V. Notice I never told the machine to do it 3 times. I said the length of this. I never told him to do it 4 times, none of that stuff. So here we go. Let's do this. I want to print them in a nice way. Maybe I'll do printf. Sys-O. Printf. And I'm going to print them in a table format in a nice way with the spacing between them. Each number between 0 to 100. So percent. 2 digits. Space is like this much space. Then the next number, percent. Or actually just do that. And tell them which number to print. I want to print the number in location table, row, column. The machine is going to finish this loop. It's going to print column is going to be 0, row is going to be 0. So print 0, 0, puts a space. Print 0, 1, puts a space. Print 0, 0, 2, puts a space, and so forth. And when you're done with that, we can go sys-O. And that'll give you the next line. So it moves the cursor to the second line, and then we can finish it. Let me block this. Well, I'll leave it there. So I'm going to put some numbers here. And again, I'm going to block that in a second. 6, 9, 12, 13, 15, 6, 4, 2. So we did that. Then the machine picked some random numbers and put them in for me. And print me the numbers. The first part now becomes really useless because I'm reloading that with initial values. So let me block from here all the way to here. Let me block all of that. I don't want you to run that. Now, what's nice about this program, by using the length function, what happens if I decide I'm going to make my array 10, or let's make it, I don't know, 15 rows by 8 columns or 6 columns. I don't have to go and change anything in my program here. I'm asking the machine to pick random numbers. Yep. And print them. And here's my numbers. There's how many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 rows. How many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we created a 15 by 6 table there. And we had the machine assign the value to them, random numbers, between 0 and 100, and print them. The reason I made this 2 digits, by the way, in case you're wondering, why 2, why not just D? Because if the number is 2 digits, I still want it to line up. If it's a single digit, notice the 4 is a single digit, because I said 2 digits going to leave a leading space, so everything lines up on the right side. Same thing right here with the 6, the 9, the 2, the 0. They all line up on the right side. Okay, that's a long video. I'll stop with it.